Truth is, a lot of what we call personality isn't personality. It's training. Sit with that for a second. Because people will say that's just who I am. I've always been like this. That's my personality. But sometimes that isn't your personality. Sometimes that's survival. Sometimes that's conditioning. Sometimes that's pain without a driver's license. So this morning, I want you to ask a question. Who taught you that? Who taught you that love had to hurt? Who taught you that rest meant laziness? Who taught you that crying meant weakness? Who taught you that asking for help meant failure? Who taught you to stay guarded? Who taught you that money is always scarce? Who taught you that you had to fight for respect? Who taught you that survival and living were the same thing? Because a lot of us inherited beliefs before we ever had the chances to examine them. Grandma taught some things. The block taught some things. Poverty taught some things. Violence taught us some things. Trauma taught us some things. The streets taught us some things. Heartbreak taught us some things. Prison taught some of us some things. Juvenile facilities taught some things. Environments where people cared about us and environments where people didn't care about us, but were dealing with their own trauma and wounds, taught us some things. And hear me carefully. I'm not blaming the people that raised us. Many of them gave us everything that they had. Many of them loved us with all they had in them. But some people who loved us deeply were wounded deeply. And wounded people can accidentally pass down survival lessons like family heirlooms. Don't trust nobody. Keep your guard up. People always want something from you. Don't cry. Handle it yourself. Stay steady. All this sounds familiar to you. You know the story. You know the narrative. You hear it over and over again in your head. And for some people listening right now, those lessons weren't crazy. Those lessons protected you. Those lessons helped you survive neighborhoods, homes, prisons, relationships, systems, and circumstances that were very real. I get that. I've been there. I respect survival. Survival deserves honor. But here's where healing is difficult. Not every lesson that kept you alive deserves permanent residency. Because what protected a 12-year-old version of you may be suffocating a 51-year-old version of you. What helped you survive one season can quietly become the thing preventing you from your next season. Because survival can become identity if you're not careful. And then you stop questioning it. You just start calling it, this is just me. No. Maybe that's not you. Maybe that's your armor. Maybe that's your grief. Maybe that's your fear. Maybe that's hypervigilance. Maybe that's abandonment. Maybe that's trauma that never got language. I remember working in juvenile justice facility with these young brothers, man, and they would always say, right, nothing scares me. Nothing shakes me. I don't care. And people would think they were hard. Like they were heartless, fearless. But after sitting with them long enough, hearing the poems, hearing the stories, hearing them rap and sing, hearing what happened before they ever got there, I learned something. The body had just adopted. It adapted. When your nervous system grows up around chaos, stress, abandonment, and violence, sometimes numbness feels like strength. But numb isn't healed. Numb is protected. And protection has a cost because eventually armor starts blocking love too. It blocks joy. It blocks peace. It blocks connection. It blocks softness. It blocks belonging. So maybe the question today isn't, what's wrong with me? Maybe the question is, who taught me that? And then ask yourself, do I still want to live by it? Do I still need it? Is this helping me build a life I say I want? Or is it helping me survive a life I already escaped? Because healing isn't betrayal where you come from. Healing isn't disrespecting your family. Healing isn't becoming soft. Healing is examining what was handed to you and deciding what gets carried forward. Because some things are inheritance and some things are burdens. And you don't have to pass every burden to your children. You don't have to hand them fear and call it wisdom. You don't have to hand them hypervigilance and call it strength. You don't have to hand them pain and call it culture. You get to decide. You get to interrupt. You get to choose. So today, ask yourself, who taught me that? And more importantly, do I still want to live that way? This is Dr. Bassett from Morning Medicine. Sometimes it stings, sometimes it even burns, but surely it will do what medicine does, and that heals. If my voice is reaching you, if you're hearing me, if you're feeling it, if it's challenging you, stimulating you to ask yourself these critical questions, I encourage you, share my voice with someone you know that needs to be mindful of what they're carrying forward. I'll see you tomorrow.